Hello beautiful people, Carl here from Brrraaains Head-Banging Life, gbhblofficial for sure, and it's horror movie review time. So pleased to be talking to you about this one because I got to go to an early screening of this in the UK, in London, a few weeks ago, and now I get to review it and talk to you about it. It is Good Boy, and Indy isn't just a good boy, he is the best boy, delivering a jaw-dropping performance, often in challenging circumstances, and leaving the viewer overcome with emotion. Good Boy sells itself on the fact that a dog named Indy is the star, and the horror story here is told from his perspective. And that is what director and writer, alongside Alex Cannon as a co-writer, Ben Leonberg delivers. A frightening, intriguing, and highly watchable supernatural horror that also deals with real-life issues around long-term illness and impending death, albeit with a looseness that does make the overall story somewhat intangible. As much as I liked Good Boy, and I really did, I can't help but wish that the story was tighter and better focused.
Look who's here!
Have you ever wondered why your dog is staring at the corner of the room? Have you ever felt a sense of unease as your dog barks at seemingly nothing? Have you ever felt like your dog is protecting you from the bottom of your bed? That is what Good Boy explores as Indy and his owner Todd, played by Shane Jensen, move into an old and isolated family house that may be home to something demonic. If this wasn't a big enough issue for Indy to deal with, Todd is sick, and his illness makes him easy fodder for the evil that lives in the cold walls that once belonged to his grandfather. Indy has no idea what is going on. He just knows that something is out to get Todd, and he will do anything it takes to save him, even if it makes him a target too.
I guess I'm next. I should never have come here.
It is a heartwarming and heart-wrenching character story that shows us just how strong the bond between a person and a dog can be. Indy isn't fearless. He isn't a super dog, but he loves Todd. I have never seen a dog as expressive as this, where every reaction, every tail wag, every cock of the head, every whine or growl tells us something about how Indy is feeling. He is the star and he shines, but all because he is real. This isn't a hyperbolic version of a dog's behaviour. In fact, in one scene that I thought was fabulous, Indy gets so scared that he pees himself and hides under the bed. But worried for Todd, he effectively coaxes himself out to confront the sinister presence. It is outstanding stuff and makes him one of the most endearing and charismatic characters in horror, certainly in modern horror. Indy is supported by an excellent cast of human characters too, where even though their faces are kept in the shadows and the film is viewed from Indy's height, they have distinct personalities. No spoilers, but a scene at the end between Todd, when we fully see his face, and Indy is so powerful. Credit to Shane Jensen, who really makes the bond between he and Indy believable too. It needed to work. Otherwise, the supernatural elements and the horror around them would have fallen flat, even though it's where the movie's biggest flaws are exposed. From the moment Indy and Todd move into the house, you can kind of feel a sense of oppression, and conversations with his sister, played by Ariel Friedman, as well as home videos recorded by his grandfather, tells us that this house is cursed. Unfortunately, this is an area that is only vaguely touched upon, and by the end lacks much needed clarity. What is the curse? How does it manifest? And what does it want. It's all too ambiguous, and even though the film is dripping in dark atmosphere and there are one or two excellent jump scares, it's easily the aspect of the film that lets it down. Enough to ruin it? Absolutely not, as there are elements that you can interpret as you wish, and there are definitely some links towards illness and death if you pay enough attention. Good Boy, though, ultimately is a film that will be remembered for not for its supernatural scares and horror, but for its portrayal of the relationship between a person and a dog, and the star-making performance of its lead Indy. I said it already, not just a good boy, but the best boy. Gotta check this out. You have to, and you gotta let me know what you think in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. If you've enjoyed what you've seen, please consider hitting that like and subscribe button. It does help us out. You can find us at gbhbl.com and across all social media platforms. And if you really want to give us a bit of extra support, please consider buying us a cup of coffee over on our coffee page. Thank you.